Hello everybody and welcome back to SNR. Round 5 takes us to the Circuit de Catalunya. My name is Kieran McGinley and I'll be taking you through this round of the championship. Let's jump straight in then with the drivers' standings. So at the top of the table is Darren Sinclair on 93 points, AJ to the P is in second on 71. Raikkonen in third on 45 points, followed by the Gort on 42. Then we have Chelsea Boy on 40 points, Geordie Davies in 6th there on 23 points, followed by Shug M in 7th, he's on 20. Spark Bobsters in 8th on 16 points. He's followed by Zippo and Mercedes there on in 14th, 14 points in 9th place. There we go. Himcar is in 10th on 12 points. We've got Bravo in 11th. He is on 10 points. DK is in 12th. He's on 8 points. Rocket is 13th. He's on 6 points. Heffy is in 14th. He is on 4 points. We also have Titium in 15th. Captain Pan 16th. Jensen is in 17th. Brentford is in 18th. White Samba 19th. And Rockatoni there is in 20th place. All of them are on 0 points. We take a look at the constructors table then. McLaren are at the top on 111 points, only 18 points behind a Ferrari. They're on 93 points. Red Bull are third with 65 points. Then it's Sauber with 45 in 4th place. Renault are in 5th with 24 points. On 20 points of Force India, they're in 6th. Mercedes are 7th. They're on 20 points. As well, Williams are in 8th, they're on 14 points. Toro Rosso on 12 points, that puts them 9th. And Haas at the bottom of the table, yet to score a point this season. So with the standings covered, it's time for the hot lap. So here we are then, a hot lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. A very balanced track as we ride on board with Himcar in car 99 and this Toro Rosso as you head down the long main straight. Heading into turn 1 and 2 now. Make sure here you keep it easy on the curbs here, very easy to lose the car. As you head now into turn 3, preferably you want a wide line as possible here to carry through as much speed as possible through turn 3, as now you head down towards turn number 4. Brake just before that overhead barrier there, and make sure on the exit there you get as wide as possible to maximise your exit. Now into turn 5, goes downhill, so be very careful. You can lock up the brakes. Make sure you don't try and get that bit of green on the right hand side. It's very tempting to try and make the track as wide as possible. As you head into turn 7 and turn 8, watch the back end here. It will twitch on you if you're not careful. Heading into turn 9 now, drop a gear, let off the accelerator, now back on it with the DRS open on a qualifying lap, and as you head down towards turn 10. Turn 10 here, a good opportunity to overtake. Brake nice and early, get the apex done, and it's a beautiful corner if you get it right. Heading into turn 11 now, make sure you don't take too much curb on the left hand side of turn 11 there, heading through turn 12. Now heading towards turn 13, and this modified section has been modified since 2007. Heading into turns 14 and 15, get the exit of 15 absolutely right, because it then leads you round turn 16 onto the start-finish straight. As you head towards the start-finish line, DRS open, and that's a lap of the Spanish Grand Prix.
Well, here we are then, the Circuit de Catalunya for round 5 of the SNR Championship. And we've been racing here since 1991. The only real track variation is the turns 14 and 15 chicane, which was first introduced in 2007 to try and slow the track down and to encourage more overtaking along the main straight. And it's been there ever since. And the track is always used for testing because of its the nature of the track, which makes it a very balanced track. So the important thing is to have a car that can take these high-speed corners as well as give you a good straight line speed, as Jensen is the first car out on track today. So what can we expect then from the 16 corners of the Circuit de Catalunya? Well, we can expect a tight 1, 2, 3 and 4 into those corners there. They'll always cause some dramas, including Jensen getting a load of oversteer there. That's what happens if you step onto the AstroTurf. The car bites at you, and it's not a nice feeling when that happens. Yeah, so turns 1, 2, 3 and 4 are going to be very crowded and tightly packed as we head through there and throughout the weekend as well. Dry for now, no chance of rain I don't think in this qualifying session. Rockatoni is already out of the session. We'll have a check and see. No, he wouldn't have retired like that unless it was something to do with a penalty of some sort. But anyway, Jensen then coming towards this turn 14, 15 here, and will he come towards the line? Yes, he will. And we'll see what sort of time he can set in the Haas. DRS wide open now, and Raikkonen also retires from the session. So there we go then, down to 14 runners. We'll ride back on board with Jensen then as he rounds into turns 1 and 2. Always difficult going into turn 3 there to get the corner absolutely spot on here. But we'll now head towards turn 4 now. Through into sector 2 now. And we'll get some telemetry lap data up as well as Jensen now heads into sector 2, into turn 5. And this time he doesn't get on that AstroTurf. Into the slight kink of 6 and then into turn 7. Up the hill now, there's a Sauber off the track there just to try and get out of the way. And now going flying into turn 9. Drop a gear as you go through there to get the good amount of turn in there. Heading down towards turn 10 now. This is going to be a real opportunity for overtaking now into turns 11. Then round to turn 12 here. Make sure you don't take too much curb on that turn 11 on the inside there. Promotes a lot of understeer as you head through. Now coming through turns 14 and 15 now. And get that right and it leads you onto the start-finish straight now. So Jensen is the first man to set a lap time. He'll cross the line now. It's a 1:21.7. We'll see now some of the other drivers who are going to set a lap here. As Spark Bobster goes fastest then, 1:19.6. The team car rounds the final corner. He heads towards the line. Sets a 1:20.4 and puts him into P2. As AJ then, 1:19.2. 7/10 faster than Spark Bobster. We'll have to see who else can cross the line now. Geordie Davey puts himself into 4th place. Tatiam there rounding the final few corners, as is Captain Pants. We've got Himkal there setting that 1:20.4. DK setting a 1:20.4. So who's just set a lap time? Zippo there. Missed that one, 1:20.4. We've also got Zippo as well, setting a 1:20.8. The Gort comes across the line, 1:19.5. We also had DK there, setting a 1:20.4. Have I missed anyone else? Heffy, 1:21.0. Rocket Queen, 1:21.1. Tatiam and Captain Pants are on their flying laps right now, as Tatiam there going to try and go for the medium tyre, so to try and get into the top 10 there, and because there's only 14 runners in qualifying, so he fancies his chances on this lap then. We'll keep an eye on the 2 Ferraris here, as there's yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3. They're gone now though, so the 2 Ferraris pretty much neck and tail here, as yeah, that's Captain Pants heading through first, and then it's going to be Titium. So they're going to be very close towards the line then. We'll have to keep an eye on what happens to them, and we shall see what happens. So through they go, the final sector now then. And oh, that's a bit of debris there from the Ferrari. That was Captain Pants there, who had to take an inside line, and Titium there still hasn't set a clean lap time. Bravo Wolf then heading down the main straight, and they're both on a qualifying lap, you see, so it's very difficult to get out of the way if you're on, or if you're trying to push for a flying lap here. As we see Titiam run wide there very slightly. Bravo Wolf then on a flying lap. We've also got the white Samba out there in the Sauber as well. He's coming towards the line now to start the first lap of his session. Riding on board then with Bravo Wolf as he rounds turn 6 into 7 and 8. Very tricky section there. Promotes a lot of oversteer as you head your way through into turn 9 now, and heading down towards turn 10 now. Reaching 187 there. You turn in for turn 10. A little bit of oversteer from Bravo Wolf on the way out. Not what he'd like, but it's happened now, as we had yellow flags in that section that Bravo Wolf was just in, so I wonder if that was the Mercedes up ahead. We'll focus on Bravo for now then, as he rounds the final corner, heads towards the start-finish line. DRS wide open. What can he set? He goes fourth fastest, 1:19.9. Now, can they set a fast lap then? Titium comes into the pits as Captain Pants has run out of fuel. White Samba then is going to be the next person to set a lap time, I believe, unless Carl is out there. Carl is out there. Is he setting a lap time though? He's 9/10 down, so I doubt Carl is going to finish this lap. And no, he doesn't. Decides very late that he's not going to continue the lap. So then, White Samba going to set a lap time now. Round the final corner he goes. And what's the lap time he's going to set? DRS wide open as he sets a 1:20.9 and puts himself up into 9th place. So we have a little bit of a gap now as the cars now file their way onto the circuit for their second run. Normally can only fit 2 runs in this session, as your first lap I would treat it as a banker lap to make sure you get your time on the board and get some sort of lap time up there. The second lap is when you really, really push and really go for it. And we'll see now what he can do and what the other drivers can do with a higher fuel mix and maybe fresher tyres as the drivers then throw all caution to the wind and really, really go for it. So we've got the qualifying standings as it happens right now. AJ to the P is in the lead right now as we see Geordie Davey has lost it completely there. He's into the wall, and I believe that's coming out of turn 3. It is, yeah. Did he maybe just get too much oversteer? Because he's got no front wing damage. That is a peculiar accident there, but Geordie Davey taking no further part in this session. So then, the Gort, it looks like he's going to be the first person out there to set a lap time, as we see all the other cars filing their way through and trying to set a lap time. White Samba then comes in, and he's going to leave his lap till late then. So it's going to be Spark Bobster. It's going to be the first of the second wave, and then it's going to be the Gort, and we'll see now what lap times they can set. Spark Bobster here, into sector 2 he goes, into turn 5, and what will he be able to do as he passes his teammate DK there, and DK rather just letting him through, letting him get on with his lap time there. So Spark Bobster then heading towards turn 9. Very difficult corner to get right. Chooses to stay in 7th gear. And reaching 189 there, just for a split second, before he has to brake for turn 10. And Jensen has now retired. And Jensen here has hit the wall, I think. Yes, he has. He has hit the wall. And it looks like very hard. Looks like suspension damage there. No, never mind then. He's just retired from the menu. Heap car rounding turn 12, heading into turn 13 now. What used to be flat out pretty much from this point on. There's one more braking zone, and there it is. You can see the 2 cars behind him, a Ferrari and a Mercedes. As we'll see now, Himcar rounding the final corner. All that time just to know he's starting another flying lap. Spark Bobster then, through he goes. We'll see DK as well out there. We've got a new lap time, and I believe it was Rocket Queen. Yes, it was. 9/10 up, and sets a 1:20.1 to put himself into P5. Invader Zippo then, I believe he's on an outlap as well. No, he's not. That was an actual lap. So 1:19.8 from Zippo, puts himself up into 4th place, and AJ to the P goes even faster, 1:19.0, and puts a huge gap between himself and Spark Bobster right now. Speaking of which, he is on a lap right now, but he's 8 seconds down, so it looks like he's going to get another chance here. Himcar then on a flying lap, as well as DK. We'll see Titium there move up into P12 with 1:21.4. DK coming towards the line with a 1:20.6. It's not quick enough to improve. And Heavy there is running without a front wing, I believe. Yes, he is. So what happened there? And Captain Pants is now retired from the session. Rocket Queen towards the line he goes. And what sort of lap time is he going to set? Heads towards the line then. Rocket Queen, DRS wide open. Can he improve? Yes, he can. And goes P4 with a 1:19.7. Spark Bobster there coming back into the pits. And AJ has another chance, but he's not going to take it. He is a second down. Zippo then, is he going to come towards the line? Yes, he is. And him and White Samba fighting for position there in qualifying. But Zippo manages to get P4 there. And Bravo Wolf retires from the session. He's not happy with his lap time. Maybe made a mistake. And he will be taking no further part in this session. We'll have to see who's closest to the line then. Heemkarl's retired from the session. As he's hit the wall there. Very hard. So DK and Titian as the only two left out on track now as DK heads towards the line. Can he improve? Yes, he can. Goes up to P7. So Titian has retired from the session, which means then that there are no further laps to be completed. And that's the end of the session. So we'll have the full session and its results after this edit. So then, AJ takes pole position away from Spark Bobster, who starts in second. The Gort is in third. Invader Zippo is fourth. Rocket Queen fifth. Bravo Wolf in sixth. DK seventh. Heemkarl is in eighth. Geordie Davey ninth. Heavy in 10th. White Samba 11th. Titian in 12th. Jensen 13th. Captain Pants, Rocketoni and Raikkonen not setting a lap time in this session. The race then is coming up after this edit. Well, it is pouring down with rain. And, well, all that dry strategy, all those dry strategies with the car there are out the window for now as it's pouring down with rain and it looks like we're going to have wet tyres for this session. Well, Michael Schumacher is the man we need to talk about, has won 6 races here at the Circuit de Catalunya, which is an outstanding feat here. We're about seconds away from the race and we're going to get onto the grid and we're going to get into round 6. Round 5. It's round 5 of SNR. So here we go then. 5 red lights in the pouring rain. They're out. And away we go. What are the starts like here? We're in the pouring rain as the spray comes up. We can barely see anything, but you can see Spark Bobster's got a better start than AJ as we head in towards turn 1. And what are the starts like? We've got a little bit of debris there. I think the Red Bull ran into the Mercedes there as we now head round the first few corners as the cars tiptoe their way around. And we've got a Force India. We've got cars off there. We've got the Red Bull here of Geordie Davey taking an excursion. We've also got Rocketoni trying to go up the inside, and there's drama here as that's Bravo Wolf in the middle of the track. We've got a Mercedes as well. I think that's Zippo. It is Zippo. We've got loads of debris across the start of that corner there. So Zippo has front wing damage. We've also got Rocket Queen as well. The 2 Mercedes then have not had a great start at all. The 2 Ferraris at the back there. It looks all okay for now then. So AJ leads the way then. The Gort moves up into second, Heavy third, and we've got White Samba here who's taken on off, and he has, look at that, he's lost it coming out of turn 7 there. He's put the power down a little too hard and he's lost the back end completely, and he is now down to 16th place. Spark Bobster then, probably the biggest loser. He's got a little bit of front wing off, man who started in 2nd place. As the cars are just trying to tiptoe their way around the track here. A lot to lose in these first few laps. And for some of the drivers here, nothing gained at all. As Spark Bobster finds himself dropping down the field even more. That Renault is badly damaged on that right-hand side of the front wing. As now we're trying to make it through. DK is then into the pits then. A lot of cars I'm expecting into the pits. Raikkonen as well into the pits. As DK is in, so too is that's Heemkarl and Spark Bobster as well as Invader Zippo. Does White Samba come in? Yes, he does. So a lot of cars into the pits after this first lap here drama from the very start in the soaking wet Circuit de Catalunya. Riding aboard with Pittenger then. It's only 6/10 behind Jordi Davey. Ahead of him, we've got Bravo Wolf chasing down Roccatoni, only half a second behind right now. And I'm expecting a lot of drama, a lot more drama to come in this race. We'll have a look here as further down the field, Heimkar's managed to find a way past DK, but for how long as the cars swerve, and DK's onto the grass there. He's gone onto the intermediate tyres. Now that is a huge call from DK. Did anybody else go onto intermediate tyres? No, DK's the only one out there on intermediate tyres. So we'll have to keep an eye on what he does around the circuit and see what the track's like. As you can see, he's not quite getting the traction for now. But we'll see how he does on those intermediate tyres. I think it's still too early because we've got a lot of standing water out there on track. But he's keeping up with Heimkar right now. So maybe I'm not the best judge of the track conditions out there. AJ sets a 1:38.0, so we'll have to see what the other cars do out there as well. Heimkar then taking turn 10 a little bit cautiously here, and actually DK's making good time on Heimkar here. Round into turn 12 they go, and then they're coming into turn 13. DK's might have a look here. Maybe DK's call to go on the intermediate tyres were actually a really good one. As you see here, Heimkar's struggling. Okay, DK is struggling out there for traction. Heimkar, oh no, DK's back in again. Well, DK maybe into the pits he comes then. Was he not happy with those inters? Well, he comes back in and we'll see what tyres he goes on to. I think he's going to go back to the wet tyres. Maybe he misclicked a button there as he came in. Yes, wet tyres are going back onto the car. And away he goes again. So maybe a mistake with the buttons in the pit lane for DK. But it's not over yet though. Jordi Davey on the back of Roccatoni here. As Roccatoni looking to try and defend 5th place from the charging Red Bull. And will Jordi Davey have a look? No, he won't. Roccatoni goes deep into turn 10 there, as they're now heading through turns 11 and then through 12. Very, very easy to just put it onto the curb and lose a lot of time. Very easy to do indeed. But it's just all about keeping your cool out there, being patient with the throttle, and keeping your eye on the track then. AJ then is into the pits. So will he put on a set of intermediate tyres? Yes, he will. So AJ then putting on intermediate tyres, away he goes, and well, this is going to be a huge call from the McLaren boys if they get this right, because we've already had DK who came in and was not happy out there with the intermediate tyres. Mistake or not, he was out there on them, and so here we see then AJ coming out of the pits, and he's going to have a lot of pressure from the cars behind as he comes round turn 3 then, and already he's pulling away. Just be careful on those tyres, AJ. You do not want to spin them up on the AstroTurf there. Meanwhile, Zippo comes into the pits as well. Is he thinking the same thing? Is he going to go onto intermediate tyres as well? Yes, he will. He's the second man to, well, the third man to put on the intermediate tyres, and he's going to change a front wing as well. So he's caught up in even more drama. It's going to be a crowded pit lane here as the Ferraris of Pittenger and Captain Pants trying to go through turn 9 together. That's not a great idea. There's not really any room for it, as we've got drama in sector 1 then, but we're going to stay on board with Pittenger and Captain Pants, and their Ferraris battling is just inviting Rocket Queen to come up and have a go. But we've got the Gore into the pits then. Heffy stays out. Jensen decides late to come in. What about Roccatoni then? Roccatoni comes in. Jordi Davey comes in. Bravo Wolf as well. So they're all coming in now for intermediate tyres. Captain Pants opts to stay out though. As Titium comes in. Rocket Queen stays out as well. What about Raikkonen? What's he going to do? Will he come in for intermediates, or will he come in or stay out, sorry, on those wet tyres? No, Raikkonen decides to come in. So then, Captain Pants around the outside of the Gort, who's just come out of the pit lane. Has he got the move done? Yes, he has. Yellow flags in Sector 3 as, look at the Red Bull there. So much more grip on those intermediate tyres. I think the intermediates are the way to go right now. Yellow flags in Sector 3 as we see cars emerging from the pit lane as Spark Bobster there out onto the intermediate tyres right now. Captain Pants then running wide onto that green AstroTurf there as he's looking to try and keep that car on the track there. We've got Heimkarl dropping down the field as he's out there on the wet tyres, and it does look like those wet tyres aren't the tyres to be on anymore, but he has got front wing damage. So I wonder where he got that, where he picked that up. Bravo Wolf then trying to chase down Titium. Titium on the wet tyres, Bravo Wolf on the inters, and you can see there already how much more grip Bravo Wolf has compared to Titium, and look at that, but even before turn 9, Bravo Wolf has got the move done. Heffy comes into the pits then, which means AJ comes down the start-finish straight and sets a 1:36.2. So yes, the inters are the tyres to be on for now. The Gort then has lost a lot of time to AJ, and he lies around about 8 seconds back. So Captain Pads into the pit said Rocket Queen stays out for another lap. Now, is he trying to do a sort of Lewis Hamilton at Monaco? Is he trying to wait for the dry tyres later on, if the track does dry out, of course? But he's certainly battling right now in third place. The only thing about Lewis's move from wet to slicks was that well, it's at Monaco, and there's not really any overtaking opportunities here, though. There's plenty, well, there's plenty more, that's for sure, if you're planning to. Heffy then on the back of Jensen and Rocket Queen there in this three-way battle for third place. Rocket Queen, remember, on wet tyres, and you can see there Jensen trying to have an opportunistic move up the inside of the Mercedes, as so too does Heffy there, as we move only on to lap 6 of this race. And the cars there just trying to find some grip out there. They both make it past Rocket Queen, and Jensen moves up into third, Heffy up into fourth place. Rocketoni closing in on Rocket Queen there, but well, Rocket Queen runs wide, runs too deep, and you can see then those tyres are really causing more concern for him. I think the longer he stays out now, the more his tyres are just going to fade away. AJ sets a 1:35.4 as a new fastest lap of the race. He did lose the fastest lap of the race for a little bit of time there, but he's got it back now. Heimkarl up the inside of Invader Zippo, and initially he gets the move done, but going into turn 9 now, no. Heimkarl gets the move done, Zippo backs out of it and waits for this line here as he gets a little bit of oversteer coming out there. That's due to the conditions. They head now down towards turn 10, and looks like Heimkarl there has the move done. He loses the back end though coming out of turn 10. That invites that little bit of pressure there from Zippo to try and have a go. I'm hovering over the Heffy so we can have a good view, but we've got Raikkonen here on Captain Pants down the main straight here, and Raikkonen, look at this then, the Ferrari's gone off. He went onto the curb there and just lost all steering, did Captain Pants, and ran into the side of Raikkonen. Now, do either of the cars have damage? I don't think so. I think Captain Pants, they're very lucky to not get any damage, as I saw that move coming from a mile away, and I knew it wasn't going to end well, as Captain Pants moves down into 10th place. Zipper then still trying to put some pressure on Heimkarl, having been overtaken. Heffy then on Jensen, the Williams versus the Haas here, as we've also got Rocket Queen and Geordie Davey. Sorry, Rocketoni and Geordie Davey, that's my apology. As we have got those two battles going on here. Rocketoni trying to defend from Geordie Davey, meanwhile Heffy trying to attack Jensen as we move onto the start-finish straight now. These guys starting lap number 8 as we head towards turn 1 now. Heffy gets a run on Jensen. And does he have this move done? They're now going to go side by side into turn 1. And Heffy there just doesn't have the momentum. Jensen breaks later and takes that racing line and still holds on to his 3rd place here. Coming towards turn 4. Bravo Wolf then has made his way past Rocket Queen. And I genuinely think Rocket Queen is trying to stay out there on some wet tyres until the softs at least become available to him. The only problem is he's really struggling out there at the moment, and it's costing him time too. We'll have a look at the start positions then. The biggest winners, Jensen and Roccatoni so far, both up 10 positions. Your biggest loser though is Spark Bobster, who's lost 12. Stops then, White Samba has got 4 as we now move on with Heffy, and all sorts of drama happening into turn 10 there. Jensen holds on from Heffy, but Roccatoni and Geordie Davey aren't very far behind at all. This 4-way battle is for 3rd place in this race. And as you can see here, Jensen's starting to pull away from Heffy just a bit. And they now head onto the start-finish straight now, of course. This is where slipstream comes into effect. And Heffy now, will he have a run on Jensen as they come towards turn 1 now? Of course, we're in the wet, so nobody has any DRS whatsoever. Heffy now coming towards turn 1. He's out the inside of Jensen this time. Has he got the move done? Jensen is going to stay there. He runs wide over the sleeping policeman. And Jensen's lost a lot of time there running over that policeman. And he's now trying to run side by side with Geordie Davey going around turn 3. And Jensen there, who on the start-finish straight was 3rd place, has dropped now down into 6th place. But he's not given up just yet. Still on the back of Geordie Davey and Roccatoni. But Heffy can start to try and run away with it. Jensen still not giving up, as he's still trying to chase down Geordie Davey and Roccatoni. As you can see here, we are riding on board with these guys, trying to see what's going to happen between them all. Geordie Davey then, as Roccatoni ran very wide there, caused Geordie Davey to take a little bit of evasive action there. Onto the grass he went, but everyone's still on track right now. And I think Geordie Davey, the grass on his tyres just made him lock up there. He's lost time once again, and he'll have to make all that time back up. Jensen then on the back of Roccatoni. He lost 3rd place to Heffy, but he wants 4th place back at least from Roccatoni. Round the final corner he goes, but as you can see there, he's losing time. Raikkonen has got past Rocket Queen there, as Rocket Queen on the wet tyres still hasn't come in yet. We can see the gap to the leaders now. The Gore is 9 seconds back. Heffy is 24 seconds back in those battle there. And Rocket Queen comes in for some intermediate tyres. I think he wanted to stay out there for as long as he could to see what happens when he got to the slick tyre stage. But out he goes then, and we've got a... I'm not sure who that was there along the start-finish straight. That was Zippo. Was it Zippo? I'm not actually entirely sure there. It might have been White Samba. I think it was White Samba who lost it into the wall, wasn't it? I thought I saw someone wildly go off track into the wall there, but maybe it just maybe it was nothing. Maybe I'm going crazy. Who knows? Geordie Davey then still trying to chase down Jensen. We're going to hop on quickly with Tatian there because we've got major damage there to White Samba, as he's lost that front wing and heads into the gravel here. Just trying to keep the car rolling through the gravel there. Rejoins the track once again. But now Zippo trying to chase down Rocket Queen. And Rocket Queen, whose tyres maybe haven't warmed up just yet, is now under pressure from his teammate. And I wonder if team orders are going to be in place here. as White Samba has left the session. Whether that's a disconnection or he was just tired of hitting the wall and losing front wing is another question, as Zippo there making up time. And Rocket Queen just losing out to Titium as well. Thought I saw Titium there lose the back end very slightly, but it has invited Rocket Queen to just come and try and have a move and try again. As well, here we go then, because Rocket Queen has got a much better run out towards turn 1 now than Titium. Down the main straight they go. And has Rocket Queen got the move done? He's certainly out ahead there. Has the line into turn 1, and he gets the move done. Geordie Davey then still trying to chase down Jensen, as Rocketoni and Heffy are just trying to bolt it from these two right now to try and get a gap between them all. We've also got Titium on the back of Rocket Queen there. So we have a little bit of a break in the action here to try and tell you the rundown right now. AJ leads the race, the Gortz in second, Heffy third, Rocketoni fourth, Jensen fifth, Geordie Davey sixth, but he looks like he's going to have a try and run here on Jensen here, as Bravo Wolf sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:34.8. Geordie Davey now down the inside of Jensen there, and looks like at the moment he's got the move done. Yes, he has, and Geordie Davey finally he moves up into 5th place. Continuing on then, Bravo Wolf is in 7th, Raikkonen 8th, Captain Pants 9th, Himkar is in 10th, Invader Zippo 11th, Rocket Queen 12th, Titium in 13th, Spark Bobster 14th, DK 15th, and White Samba is in 16th, although he has been disconnected from the session. Jensen now under pressure from Bravo Wolf, who's the fastest man out on track right now. We'll have to see what happens. Through the spray they go. Meanwhile, the battle for 12th place still on, as Titium's still trying to be within touching distance of Rocket Queen. We're on to lap 13 of this race, and AJ still leads the way from the Gort and Heffy. That's your podium at the moment. Rocketoni, though, is trying to make some inroads in catching Heffy here. As Bravo Wolf, has he made the move on Jensen? Yes, he has. Up into 6th place he goes. But will Jensen try and sacrifice a little bit of exit there, as he now comes into the pits? Rocketoni is also into the pits. So we're going to see now, is this going to be another set of inters? We see some tyres in the pit lane there, as apparently he's floating at the moment. On go another set of intermediate tyres, and the Toro Rosso just about rejoins in front of the Haas there. Jensen also into the pits, and another set of intermediates go on for him. So then Raikkonen on Rocketoni. Raikkonen just about holding it true, but Rocketoni has fresher tyres, fresher intermediate tyres. He's going to try and go down the inside, but Raikkonen's not going to let him. As they head through turn 3 there. Got another chance coming into turn 4. He had a think about it there, but not quite. And he'll stay behind him for now. Rocket Queen still trying to chase down Zippo there, his teammate, as he's starting to build a gap towards him and Titium. Meanwhile then, the race leader AJ comes into the pits, and he will be, I wonder if he'll be putting on another set of intermediate tyres. Into the pits he goes then. And yes, he does. On go another set of intermediate tyres. Now, these guys may be getting a call from the engineer that dry period is on the way. So maybe they're thinking if they put on another set of intermediate tyres, they can make it to this dry stint. Of course, we're completely blind here as to what the guys are thinking. But Geordie Davey comes into the pits then. Bravo Wolf sets a 1:34.6 as he tries to chase down Heffy. Meanwhile then, Geordie Davey into the pits. He goes on to another set of inters, and away he goes. Rocketoni chasing down Raikkonen. but Raikkonen's just about keeping away here. As Geordie David will rejoin there, as you can see behind these two in 7th place. So the court leads the way at the moment, but he hasn't stopped just yet. So we'll see what happens when we come to it. We've got Zippo there for speeding in the pit lane. He's got himself a 5-second penalty, but he'll come in and put on another set of intermediates. Away he goes, very quick from the Mercedes boys there. Raikkonen is in 6th place right now, trying to chase down Raikkonen. Geordie Davey is behind Raikkonen. Those guys are on new tyres at the moment. The Gort then comes into the pits. Now he'll put on a set of intermediate tyres. In he comes. On they go, and away goes Raikkonen. Away goes the Gort, sorry. As we got Red Bull coming in the background, that's Heffy. That was the gap between the Gort and Heffy there. So Bravo Wolf moves up into 2nd place. The earlier stop onto the intermediates has worked here. So Bravo Wolf now is up into 2nd place. Raikkonen still trying to chase down Raikkonen. We see Heffy there in the pits, and he'll rejoin behind the both of these guys, will he? Yes, he will. So Raikkonen moves up into 4th. Raikkonen moves up into 5th. Heffy rejoins in 6th place, ahead of Geordie Davey though, who is in 7th place. Tatia here, trying to chase down Rocket Queen. 6/10 behind her at the moment, but he's in opportunity for slipstream here down the main straight. We're on lap 15 here, and we'll see in a minute what's going to happen. Spot Bobster comes into the pit, as we're going to keep an eye on this battle for 5th place between Raikkonen, Heffy and Geordie Davey. As Raikkonen runs slightly wide, that's inviting pressure from Heffy there. And Heffy with that momentum just has nowhere to go and use it. This becoming a battle between Raikkonen, Raikkonen, Heffy and Geordie Davey. So AJ sets a 1:34.6 as the fastest lap of the race as we head on to lap 16. You can see the Williams of Heffy there behind Raikkonen. Just trying to put a little bit of pressure on, and we'll see if that works, because around the final corner comes Raikkonen, then it's Raikkonen, then it's Heffy, and then it's Geordie Davey as they head down the main straight now. What's the deal with these guys? I wonder what's going to happen as we head now down into turn 1. Keeping it on the track is the most important thing, of course, especially in difficult conditions as these. And Captain Pants picks up a 5-second stop go there for speeding in the pit lane. Very easy to do, especially when it's raining. So, AJ leads the way at the moment. We've got Bravo Wolf in 2nd, the Gort in 3rd, Raikkonen 4th, Raikkonen 5th, Heffy in 6th. Geordie Davey 7th, Jensen is in 8th, Heemkarl 9th, Titiam in 10th. We've got Rocket Queen off there, that's in sector 1. Is that turn 4 or turn 5? No, it's turn 2. Look, so Rocket Queen there losing some sort of, or losing the car of some kind there, because he's lost a bit of front wing. Disaster then for Rocket Queen. Don't quite know how it happened, but he has lost some front wing. With that said then, Captain Pants moves up into 11th, Tatia moves up into 10th. Then we've got Invader Zippo 13th, DK 14th, Spark Bobster 15th, and White Samba, who's not in this session at the moment, he's in 16th. So AJ still leading the way. We've got a battle there in the midst. We've got Geordie Davey here on the back of Heffy. And he's just trying to keep the car on the track, as is everybody else, just to try and see and he can gain an advantage and try and overtake here. You can see then up ahead as well, Roccatoni and Raikkonen battling away as well. 4 of them come through, and this is now becoming a battle for 4th place. Roccatoni there not getting a good line through turn 7, and Heffy on him again as we head through into this right-hander of turn 9. Of course, no DRS, so we stick on board with Heffy as AJ goes a 1:34.5. So I wonder if slicks are going to be an option coming towards the end of this race, as Heffy tries a switchback. And there is a man who's going to try it. DK onto the medium tyres he goes, and he's going to try those tyres to the end of the race, and why not? We've got the cars bunching up here. Will any of them come into the pits? No, they don't. They carry on. All of them thinking they don't want to take the risk of going on to soft tyres or dry tyres just yet. Of course, this becomes a little bit of a dilemma here. If you pit early, you may get the advantage, but at the moment, I don't think the soft tyres would make it to the end of the race. It is still raining out there. Bear that in mind, so the track will be wet still. Well, we've got Heimkarl now into the pits. We've got yellow flags in sector 2. As we see, is that DK? Yes, it is. He's just getting out of the way of the of that battle of 4th place there, as he's just trying to tiptoe the car around. DK then, I wonder if he's going to come back into the pits for some more intermediates. Maybe it was too early. As you can see there, the back end sliding about. And I don't think he's very comfortable out there on those tyres either. Meanwhile then, still we go. The battle for 4th place. Bravo Wall is into the pits. Has he got the call from the team there to come in and change strategy? The Gort gets the fastest lap of the race there. Bravo Wolf into the pits he goes. And on go another set of inters. Interesting call there from Bravo. So Geordie Davey then behind Roccatoni as Raikkonen comes into the pits as well. And what tyres is he going to put on? Into the pits he goes, and another set of intermediates. Of course, Raikkonen hadn't stopped just yet when he was in that battle. Now he's released these guys. We've got Bravo Wolf, Roccatoni, Heffy and Geordie Davey in this battle together now. Bravo Wolf at the head of it, which is where he wanted to rejoin. But as you can see, it is still a 4-way battle for the lead of the race. DK comes into the pits and puts on another set of intermediates. Still too early, but if DK's come into the pits last time, it was only a lap before someone else came in and made the intermediates work. So maybe DK's just getting the calls, maybe a lap too early, maybe 2 laps too early. But he certainly had the right idea there, just trying something different to the rest of the field, because you never know, it could pay off. On board then with Geordie Davey as he gets a good run in the entry of turn 12 there. Heffy runs wide, and that's an opportunity for Geordie Davey. Doesn't need to be asked twice there. But Heffy just keeps it on the track and ahead of Geordie Davey. Signs then for Heffy that he's Geordie Davey might be inviting a little bit of pressure on him at the moment. Will we see a move into turn 1 then? The Red Bull thinks about it but tucks back in. Meanwhile, Heimkarl on the back of Titian. And what will Heimkarl be able to do? Will he find a way past? I don't know whether the rain's getting lighter out there. I think it is. I don't think dry tyres are very far away either, if we're setting fastest lap after fastest lap. You see there, it is still raining, but not as hard as at the start of the race. We've got Captain Pants moving up to 11th place there, as that's why he came into the pits. But Ian Carl having a look at Tutium there, but couldn't quite get the move done. Zippo then getting past Captain Pants, as we've got Spark Bobster into the wall there. Very peculiar place to lose it. So then AJ leads the way as he starts lap 21 of this race. The Gort there is in second, Bravo Wolf third, Rockatoni fourth, Heffy fifth, Geordie Davies 6th, Jensen is in 7th, Raikkonen 8th, Tatiam 9th, Hinkal 10th, and Vader Zippo 11th, Captain Panson 12th, Spark Bobster 13th, Hinkal 14th, DK in 15th place. As we see there, Hinkal, did he manage to get the move done on Titium there? They're going to be side by side now as they head towards turn 10. No, that was just the trick of the camera there, as Hinkal then moves up into 9th place. And now he can start to chase down somebody else. Geordie Davey then on the outside of Heffy. Can he get a move stuck in there? As he's now got the inside line there. Do they make contact? I don't think they do. But Heffy's going to run wide into turn 3. Try and get a better exit. And he does. Stays ahead of Geordie Davey. Looking out for some other battles on the track. This is our closest battle of the race at the moment. And Geordie Davies still on the back of Heffy as we head through turn 5. Now coming up towards turn 6 and 7. All about getting the exit right of turn 7 there as you get into turn 8. All about keeping that back end stable as we head round into turn 9. But Heffy here still trying to go defensive on Geordie Davey here. We break into turn 10. But will the track be dry enough, as we've got 12 laps to go? The drivers will be thinking, if the dry tyre call is soon, it might be ultras. Softs. Those are the softest tyres out on track today. It could be a region of soft tyres that will get them to the end of the race. But Heffy loses the back end coming out of turn 15 through 16 now. This is an ideal opportunity for Geordie Davey there. He's in the slipstream, and can he make the move stick? He's going to go to the racing line here, which will become the outside line for turn 1, the inside line for turn 2. Are we going to see a move stuck by Geordie Davey? He breaks later than Heffy, coming into turn 1, but no, not quite. He stays out of it and doesn't quite get the move done. Good idea, but he just backed out of it. And for another time around then, he's behind Heffy. Yellow flags in sector 2, and we've got Spark Bobster off and into the wall, and that is at turn 9. Yeah, that's the entry into turn 9. Is it? It's no, that's a bit of off track there. Yeah, that is coming out of turn 9, but not as we know it. If that made any sense to anybody. So Spark Bobster then out of the race. Geordie Davey, yellow flags here, then become green flags. There you can see the debris and where Spark Bobster was. Now coming into turn 10. As we see Heffy here trying to defend. He's done well defending so far from Geordie Davey. With 11 laps to go. AJ still leads the way from the Gort and Bravo Wolf, but we're going to see here Geordie Davey still on the attack on Heffy here. Round the final corner they go. There's Rockatoni sliding his way through. Heffy slides his way through too, and that's going to open up an opportunity here for Geordie Davey as they head towards turn 1. He thought about a move, but backed out of it, and once again is behind Heffy through sector 1. But you can see there, Geordie Davey, whatever happens here, he wants to find that way past, and he feels he needs to find that way past as well. Coming into turn 4, as this is our closest battle on track. And this is the battle for 5th place as Jordy Davey taps the back of Heffy, coming into turn 5. And we'll see here, don't think there's any damage to either car, so AJ is into the pits. AJ then into the pits, and what tyre is he going to put on? Will it be a set of mediums? Will it be a set of softs? He comes into the pits, and on go another set of inters. So AJ then going to the end of the race. Tyre wear is very high here on those tyres. So De Gort will take the lead of the race. So will there be a chance or a dry period out on track here? We've got Heffy here still holding off Jordy Davey at the moment. And Rockatoni here is slowly being drawn into this battle here. Jordy Davey trying to use all the track and more to get onto the back of Heffy, and he has at the moment. You can see how close he is. And coming out of the last corner, Heffy trying to go defensive once again. Jordy Davey here is looking for a way through, and has been looking for a way through for a couple of laps now, but he's been closer than ever now in terms of where he is on the gearbox. He has been side by side with him going into turn 1, but he just can't find a way past right now. We head into turn 4, and once again Jordy Davey has to stay behind. So De Gort leading the way, and I wonder now if he's going to come into the pits. Rounding through turns 11 and then through turn 12. You can see there, I think that is AJ there coming through. Yes, it is. He's not very far behind at all as De Gort then comes through into turn 14 and 15. And we'll see here, does he come into the pits? No, he doesn't. He stays out. So is De Gort here waiting for a dry period? Does he see a dry period of track here as Rockatoni runs wide coming out of turn 10? We now jump aboard with the battle for 4th place now. Rockatoni has been well and truly roped into this battle here, and Heffy and Jordy Davey have been catching him lap after lap as Rockatoni pushing the car as hard as he can, and at the moment he's being reeled in by the 2 cars behind him. But Rockatoni comes into the pits then as we look on board with Heffy and Jordy Davey. Jordy Davey seems to get a better exit there. We now head down the start-finish straight, and we see Rockatoni and Jensen into the pits. Jordy Davey then still on the back of Heffy, and he looks for the inside, but can't quite find it, but he does. He tries down the inside, launching it down, but once again he just can't find a way past, and this is where frustration starts to set in. When there's no way you can get past, you'll just try and get more and more desperate. Jensen then is on medium tyres. That's an interesting call. I wonder if it's going to pay off for Jensen here. He's in 8th place at the moment. There's Hinkal, and he'll rejoin in front of him. And coming into turn 1, you can see there, he's going to be he's going to tiptoe all the way around, and he's probably thinking just to try it, and why not? But at the moment, Hinkal is catching him by a rate of knots. Hinkal coming up the inside into turn 4. Has he got the move done? Yes, he has. Coming around here. Yes, he has. You can see that. Coming into turn 5. And Jensen here losing time. But I got to say, it's not as bad as the time DK tried it. Just running onto the gravel there very slightly. Now Jordy Davey has got it down the inside of Heffy. Has he? Yes, he has. And at last, Jordy Davey finds a way past. And of course, because I'm not watching this battle, that's when Jordy Davey gets the move done. It's almost like they know when I'm going to switch away from them. But Jordy Davey finds a way past Heffy, and he's up into 4th place. Back on board with Jensen then. And on those medium tyres already, he's lost 3.4 seconds to Hinkal on this lap alone. So it was a huge risk with rain still falling on the track. But was it a risk worth taking? AJ closing in on De Gort. With, I think that's 7 laps to go. As we see the Ferrari there. As Jensen comes into the pits, presumably then to put on a set of intermediate tyres. To tee him into the pits as well. But the Gort here leading by just 2.1 seconds right now. As we see the Ferrari here, he will have blue flags eventually, and Captain Pants, not an ideal place to let a back marker or a front runner through, but there we go. Titium now onto the soft tyres. So different drivers driving different things. So Titium rejoins the track then on the soft tyres as Captain Pants comes in, and you can see their intermediate tyres are ready for him. Or are they softs? There's a 5-second penalty for Captain Pants for speeding in the pit lane. Now they can work on the car. On go some intermediates? Yes, they do. So then, split strategy between the Ferraris here, and Titium here on the soft tyres. He's got AJ behind him, and of course he will be letting him through, so that's not a true representative of pace there, as he lets AJ through. Away he goes. Raikkonen up into 4th place as Heffy and Geordie Davey pit in, and you can see what that battling does. On go another set of inters for Heffy, on go another set of inters for Geordie Davey, and he finds himself once again behind Heffy. He's got to do all of that all over again. We're watching the pace of Titium here, and he's managing to keep up with the front runners at the moment. Maybe running slightly too deep into turn 10 here, but he was managing to keep up with the front runners. Is that a sign for everybody that maybe dry tyres are not very far away? Now, do you stay on the inters at this point, or do you try and get onto a set of dry tyres? It's always very difficult when you're coming into the closing stages of the race, with 6 laps to go then. And we have it's a long 6 laps, especially if you're on the wrong tyre. But we are going to see what's going to happen here. We've got Rocket Queen into the pits as well. On go a set of soft tyres for Rocket Queen. So Rocket then on a new set of soft tyres, DRS enabled. So the race officials think the track is dry enough. That's the sure sign. That's the surefire sign that it's now time for dry tyres. Is anyone near the pit lane? Yes, Raikkonen comes in. He dives into the pits. Rockatoni too. As you can see there, the intermediate's not getting much grip at all there. So Raikkonen then is into the pits. You'll see then, Rocket Queen then made a good call. Maybe slightly too early, but you can see now, Titium, look how easy he makes this. That's the move for 12th place. And you can see there how much more grip Queen has. Great move from him. And Titium as well on the soft tyres. Don't rule him out either. He waited a lap longer. And look at this then. Jensen once again. Well, Jensen just didn't get the right timing at all there. DK into the pits then. White Samba into the pits. Captain Pants has retired from the session. And, well, he's just trying to call it a day here. AJ then on the tail of the Gort, but he stays out. So is he just trying to get to the end of the race then? The Gort comes in and he's going to put on a set of soft tyres. Now then, with 5 laps to go, sorry. 5 laps to go of this race. And the Gort comes in, and his teammate, you can see, stopped in just earlier. And away he goes on the soft tyres. Now then, does AJ have to pit? Because he's obviously going to try and stick it out on these tyres to try and get to the end of the race on intermediate tyres. He thinks it's too big a risk to get onto the soft tyres. He may lose too much time. And if he stays out this lap, then he's got to stick to that as well. Otherwise, he'll fall down the field. Have a look at that 21.8 gap, and we'll see how much is 8 into it as the lap goes on. So at this moment in time, the Gort, as we've got a little bit of drama here. I think that's involving Heffy, and it is. Geordie Davey and Heffy. I don't know whether it was involving those two. They were close on track together, but I can't say for sure. But that may be a wet track with dry tyres situation. And with those little bit of gravel on his tyres there, finds himself off track once again. And once again, he just can't keep the car under control here. He's just got to take it easy as Heffy. He's still got the gravel on his tyres, and he's going to have less grip. As Heffy passes him as well. Heimkarl, sorry, passes Heffy. Down into 9th place he goes. And you can see how hard he's pushing, but he's still got dirty tyres here. Jensen now moves up into 9th place. And Heffy, once again, is just trying to push too hard here on tyres that haven't cleaned up yet. Once again, he loses that back end. But he's got a straight now where he can clean off those tyres. And on all of that, Heffy now drops down into 10th place. Meanwhile then, AJ, you can see here with 4 laps to go. The gap is 16 seconds. The Gort took 5 seconds out of him in that lap alone. So AJ's going to get slower and the Gort is going to get faster. Could this be a huge move in the shift of momentum? Can the Gort here try and find a win? As you can see here, that I believe is Roccatoni, is it? That's definitely a Toro Rosso. No, it's not Roccatoni. But I'm not sure who it is. But you can see there the back marker here of Heemkar. That's Heemkar, my mistake, who is managing to try and find a way past AJ when he's on the soft tyres. And there you go, once again battling away. And now the gap's down to 11.9 seconds. The Gort is catching AJ, and at the moment AJ has not made the right call. It's a very difficult call to make, but he will cross the line in the lead of the race with 3 laps to go. Slides that back end out, and at the moment he's going to get caught, I think, on the last lap if the pace continues like this, maybe on the straight of the penultimate lap. But as you can see there, there's a Haas who is on the back of AJ, and he's unlapped himself there, and DRS open. There he goes then. The Gort 128.0. That was his fastest lap of the race, and the fastest lap of the race, 7.3. 3 laps to go. The maths is simple. He's got to get 2.5 seconds on him every lap, and I think that's doable. Bravo Wolf 127.9. Invader Zippo 127.8. The track is getting faster and faster for those who are on those soft tyres here, as AJ has got to hold on for 3 more laps. But can he do it? Because there's the Gort there is now 4.3 behind. Bravo Wolf is taking advantage as well. Will he manage to find a way past AJ? AJ here, who had been leading for the whole way until this call. You can see the Gort there is only 2.5 seconds back. And now they're in the same picture. The Gort here, 1.4 seconds behind. And the track is just getting slower and slower for AJ. Just can't find the grip out there. There's the Gort then, coming up for 2nd place. This for the battle for the lead then, and I don't think it's going to last too long, as AJ is going to try and hold on to the lead for dear life. He gets a load of oversteer coming into turn 14, now through 15 and 16. All the Gort has to do is pick his moment here. He will have DRS on the leader as well. He's just got to pick his moment. Into the slipstream he goes. And AJ is going to defend as hard as he can on tyres that are just not at the optimum at the moment. Here comes the Gort then, down the inside he goes. Has he got the grip? AJ to hold on, no he doesn't. And the Gort then takes the lead of this race and puts it into 1st place. AJ then dropping back, and he's already 1.6 back as he runs wide. And that is Heffy here in 10th place, trying to unlap himself here. And he has full right to do so if he's faster than the front runner. And there he goes then, unlaps himself and pushes on. AJ then struggling for grip out there, as we see DK. DK's retired from the session, and he's hit the wall and hit it hard. And that's him. That's his day over with 2 laps to go. The Gort then passing that stricken Renault there, and it could get from bad to worse. Luckily for AJ, they're going through a yellow flag zone, so Bravo can't do anything yet. Now they're in the green flag zone. Now we can do something about this. AJ then still trying to hold on for dear life, but it's all in vain. Bravo Wolf up the inside, and there he goes. Up into 2nd place does Bravo Wolf go. Down to 3rd does AJ. He's got to keep a hold of the car. The Gort then rounding the final corner. And he's going to start the final lap of this race in the lead of it. Bravo Wolf is in second, AJ in third, and at the current pace right now, it looks like he's just about... Oh, the Mercedes has lost it! Mercedes has lost it, and I think that was Zippo. It was Zippo who has completely lost the back end, hit the wall, and has lost that front wing. There's no point of him pitting now. Luckily, he has DRS, though. He's opened that up. But with no one else around him that could possibly put up a challenge, it's not worth him going and visiting pit lane here. The Gort coming around turn 5 in the lead of the race. Bravo Wolf is in second, AJ third. Raikkonen is pushing as hard as he can, but I don't think he's going to catch him. 15 seconds to make up in that lap. Now it's down to 10. I don't think... Sorry, it's 13. Now down to 12.6. I don't think he's going to catch him as fast as Raikkonen may be on those tyres. I think AJ's going to hold on to that last podium place. The Gort then into the final sector. Through turns 11 and then through 12. He's just got to keep it on the track for a couple more corners. Through he goes into turn 13. Now into 14 and then 15, and a remarkable Spanish Grand Prix as the Gort comes through turn 16. Who would have said this at the start? The Gort then is going to claim round 5 and the Spanish Grand Prix. He'll take the win. Bravo Wolf comes across the line in second place and sets the fastest lap of the race in doing so. And AJ's lost it! AJ's lost it into the gravel! Unbelievable! He's lost the podium! Raikkonen here goes through the last chicanes. And he's going to take third place, is Raikkonen. Round the final corner he goes. And it's going to be Raikkonen against all odds who takes third place. AJ's lost another position as Roccatoni gets past him. Roccatoni then is going to come through and take fourth place in this race. And now Geordie Davies got past AJ. Through he goes into fifth place. And where is AJ? He's just trying to hold on to the car at the moment. Oh, that's why he had a puncture. That's why he was losing time and losing ground. AJ punctured that right rear, but he's going to come home in sixth place and end this miserable day for him. Titium and Heimkarl in formation heading towards the line, and they take sixth and seventh. But a remarkable story today. Who would believe it? The Gort is your winner at the Spanish Grand Prix. Well, what a race that was. Unbelievable. And from wet to dry, the Gorts earned that win. So then the Gort takes the race win. Bravo Wolf second, Raikkonen in third, Roccatoni fourth, Geordie Davey fifth, AJ is sixth after that puncture. Heimkarl seventh, Titium in eighth, Jensen in ninth, Heffy in 10th, Rocky Queen 11th, Invader Zippo 12th. And we've got the retirements there for people who leave the session early. Captain Pants 15th and Spark Bobster in 16th. Well, what a race as AJ got a puncture towards the end of that race, dropped from first to sixth in a matter of laps. Well, the next race is Monaco, the tight, twisty streets of Monaco. That'll be around about the same time next week. I do hope you can join us for then. Until Monaco, though, I've been Kieran McGinley. You've been watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.